stuck between a rock and a hard place. Was always Isaiah Thomas's career, given the choice, given the facts that he's 5'9" and 185 pounds soaking wet. Isaiah Thomas's Draft Express profile actually had this to say, and I love when players take what the scouts say and flip it. Relying heavily on a finesse game, scoring in the lane, Thomas uses a lot of floaters and runners to get the job done, which is probably inevitable at his height. While his ability to score points around the basket is one of his strengths at this level in college, it's not hard to see it becoming a weakness in the pros, where the change in size and athleticism will have a strong effect on his game. A logical Draft Express profile. I'm not ripping him for that. But what I love about Isaiah Thomas, Francis, is that floater, that finger roll layup, all that arsenal of attack has turned him into one of the best point guards in basketball, scoring point guards in basketball. Drafted 60th overall.
Wow.
The last pick in the draft has scored more points combined than every single 60th overall pick since 1989. This is a 20... Stats! Oh, but no. But he shoots over 50% from the restricted area, where all that size and athleticism was going to prevent him and turn it into a weakness. He's 79 of 165 from less than 5 feet, 47.9%. He's got 26 points per game. He leads the NBA in drives per game. He's 14-plus times per game. He's going straight to the rim, which is a little bit more than Russell Westbrook does. But Russell Westbrook's 6'3" and ridiculously athletic. Isaiah Thomas is not 6'3", 5'9". I think the shortest guy to get drafted, besides for Nate Robinson, Muggsy Bogues type of players.
Yeah.
But in terms of like recency, 14 drives per game means I think he loves being 5'9", and he wants to take it to the rack every single time because he looks at it and goes, "Screw the haters, screw them. I'm going to be an all-star point guard. I'm going to be a superstar point guard in the league." And yes, they might have signed Al Horford in the offseason. Now Horford, a portable player who is still going to get better with the Celtics as time goes on. But the best player on that team, even with Al Horford next to you, is your 5'9" point guard.
I love that this clip comes a day after we spent a ridiculous amount of time talking about the Greek Freak and how he's a 6'11" point guard and how he's changing the face of the game. And this is why we love the NBA, because at times...
That's a fun matchup, by the way.
Yeah, oh my God. Jesus, it's going to be fantastic. But 5'9", it's astounding. Like, I haven't seen someone that size and that athleticism. I mean, I remember I was so infatuated with Nate Robinson solely because he could dunk when he was like, he's like 5'4" or something like that.
I don't get how you get that high up from that low to the ground.
Nate Robinson played for the Celtics for a little bit,
right? The Celtics, played for the Knicks,
Is he still playing?
Nuggets. No, but he plays pickup ball.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I remember the guy challenged him in Russia or something like that. Was that not?
Yeah, that was a bad idea. Someone was like, "Come on, let's go to the court,
let's play." And the guy just whipped his shirt up. Remember, he just comes up to the camera and goes, "Hey, I play. You want to play?" And Robinson's like, "All right, man, sure."
Part sounds like our editor, Mary.
All right, I was between Mary and Ivan Drago. I went with both. I must break you. But either way, we talked about it last year. Right? Isaiah Thomas is going to be put by the wayside naturally in comparison to other point guards, which he shouldn't. But it's just because we're so blessed with this plethora of point guards that we have in this league at the moment.
So many.
Like Chris Paul is going to always, for me, be ahead of the pack simply because he's someone that he doesn't have to adapt to this shoot-first point guard mentality that a lot of people have seen because he's so fantastic as a passer. But this shoot-first point guard mentality can have its ups and downs, as we know. And when you combine that with overall great court vision and the fact that you're 5'9", I see this player becoming one of the most useful point guards. That's what I don't think he's going to be the best point guard in the league. He is one of them. Mm-hmm. But it's still, for me, there's still a game changer in Steph Curry that's going to, no matter what, be able to just turn the game on its head by shooting, 10 threes in the space of whatever time. But Isaiah Thomas is able to do so much for his team despite being at a disadvantage, to many of those around him. And I'm always going to root for an athlete like that, regardless of the sport. If you're coming into that sport overall, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches lower than the average player.
Seriously.
But are still able to defy those odds by shooting in restricted areas where you're not supposed to be able to get a shot away, by playing the game to your style, not having to adjust and simply stay on the perimeter and just kind of shed the ball around. No, he's playing it the way that he wants to play, the way that he has always been capable of playing. And I think you got to give a level of respect to anyone that does that.
Absolutely, 100% agreed. And this is somebody who I think is going to be heading to his second straight All-Star game. He was just told no. Right? He was just told no throughout his college career where he's like, you're probably not going to get drafted. But he was given a chance. And sometimes players just need a chance. What Isaiah Thomas can be, And what the NBA is showing as it's becoming more positionless, I mean, Isaiah Thomas could only play the 1, or maybe the 2 in certain situations. Like, there's no way you can make him the small forward.
No way.
You can't, because there's no 5'9" small forwards.
Well, tell him he can't play small forward.
And
he might go forward
and then
play
watch him
small
post
forward.
up on. Tell him he can't play the center, and then watch him post up on DeMarcus Cousins. He can just go right between his legs and just roll it right in. So, my point being on Isaiah Thomas is we talk about the greatest second-round draft picks of all time because the drop-off between the first and second round. But there are 2 players in the NBA currently who are just defying what everyone told them in terms of all-around great. Draymond Green was a second-round pick, and Isaiah Thomas, and those are potential All-NBA players, first, second, or third team for the foreseeable future. So I love this idea. I love the idea that Isaiah Thomas has become a superstar, and I think it's ignorant to think otherwise because the Celtics were a team of misfits isn't the right word, but a team without a superstar, and someone had to emerge from that. And while we thought it might have been Marcus Smart on the defensive end of the floor being so sound, or it might have been Al Horford, the signing of Al Horford, or it might have been Jonas Jerebko really stepping up his game, or rookie. It wasn't. It wasn't any of them. It was Isaiah Thomas, and he's one of the most watchable guys in the league.
Do you know what I like about? We have to give credit to the Celtics as well because I feel like they've seen the potential in this superstar, and rather than because they are one of the staples.
The Kings drafted him, but they traded for him.
Traded for him. But the thing is, what I mean is that when you're a staple of basketball, right, like the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, you're often swayed by making quick trades to try and get in quick-fire superstars to try and pursue what the Knicks, I have to say, have been trying to do, where you bring in the superstars and you try to push yourself towards success. Right. Whereas they have believed that Isaiah Thomas is going to be fundamental to their potential success in the future, so they've built around him. They believed in him. They have had players that have been brought in. For instance, I thought he worked very well with Marcus Smart last year. I thought he's worked very well with players that have been brought in to try and utilize his best qualities and trying to help him grow. And when you bring in Al Horford like they have done this year, I think it's another step in the right direction for the Celtics. They don't want to win by having quick trades to try and win by anyone else's means. They want to win in their own way. They want to win by believing in players that they put their faith in and building around him. And I think it's a phenomenal thing to see a team like the Boston Celtics continue to build upon the potential of Isaiah Thomas. And I think his rise is going to come hand in hand with the Boston Celtics rise.
Yes. It's just great. I don't think there's ever been somebody under 5'11" to finish top 10 in scoring. Allen Iverson being 6 foot maybe on the dot, 5'11" on the dot. I want to look that up to make sure. But was an MVP in the league and just tremendous. And they're just different players. Like a lot of people want to go, well, Allen Iverson was short and Isaiah Thomas was short comparatively to the rest of the league. They're the same player. No, they're doing it very differently. And it's captivating, and we love it. And the Boston Celtics, I still will believe, in the next 5 years will find their way to the NBA Finals based on Brad Stevens' coaching. He deserves it. They're a well-rounded team and a smart organization. And I wish the Knicks would do many things like they did. Comment below, all of y'all.
All y'all.
It started off sad with the English football sex scandal. But those are some important comments too. And then it gets to angry. It's like the 5 stages of death. It was sadness,
5 stages of grief?
Angry. There are 5 stages of grief.
5 stages of death is just one stage, Jason. You die and then that's it.
And then we hit acceptance with Isaiah Thomas in terms. Really, it's a range
5 stages of death through Jason Rubin. Tell me through.
Like, Corey's looking at me like our director's just like, guys, just get the hell out of the show. We'll see you next
Story
week.
clip to go. Easy.